At Total Pharmacy Care, we fill your prescriptions and answer any questions about your medications. No distractions and no long lines. Tell your doctor to send your prescriptions to Total Pharmacy Care.
And welcome back to another episode of the Unwired Appalachia podcast, coolest podcast around. This is season 2, episode 20. I'll let you guys go because I feel like
the obvious shout out I got for 20 is Barry Sanders. I know he's got a cool one too.
Mine is Gary Payton.
GP.
I like that one.
The glove.
The glove.
The glove, yeah.
I don't actually have a shout out.
He don't know anybody who's number 20.
Well,
yeah,
then,
I don't really have one.
Well, I'm going to take it here. Shout out to the maybe the greatest number 20 of all time, Mike Winchell from Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay.
Quarterback from Friday Night Lights.
I got you.
Come on, Mike Winchell.
Actually,
you threw a curveball.
You threw a curveball. I'm going to go Ed Reed on this one.
Ed Reed, that's not a bad one.
Just popped in my head. Actually,
he's got to have some kind of good feelings about Baltimore now.
Yeah, something with the Ravens. Anyway, welcome back for another episode. We're as always brought to you by the Appalachian newspapers. I am joined from my right hand side by the one and only Adam Mahan, who did a phenomenal job last week.
Debut.
Adam Mahan, ladies and gentlemen.
Debut. The real May Hizzle.
Yes. Regional sports editor Randy White and staff sports writer Josh Blankenship. I'm Wes. Welcome back to another episode. Listen, we're jam-packed for this week. We're sitting in the middle of Appalachian Wireless Arena where it's going down tonight. We got the girls' championship game and the All-A, and it's been a fun tournament so far.
Basketball,
the boys getting started tomorrow
night. Yeah, the girls are going to finish up tonight. Shelby Valley Phelps championship tonight. What a fun tournament this has been so far, Wes. It started last Thursday. Usually 2 games a night. Saturday night there was only 1 game, but man, what action. If you like basketball, this is a place to be. I mean, you know, yesterday Shelby Valley and Pikeville played each other in the semifinals, and it was just a back and forth, you know. Shelby Valley came away with a 10-point win, 58-48. But, I mean, me and Wes watched most of this game yesterday. There's 2 really good teams, both executing.
Yeah.
And it just came down to a 15-0 run by Shelby Valley in that third quarter was enough to hold Pikeville off. Yeah,
and I think the big thing that stood out to me, aside from obviously Ashley Ellswick, who was kind of unstoppable in the second half, Cassidy Rowe really came in for the first time, played significant minutes.
She made her debut Friday night against Martin County. And Valley, you know, everybody thought that was going to be a close game. And Valley beat Martin County by 20+. I mean, I think it was 26-58. She played about 12 minutes that game. But Sunday, she came in and had like a little 8-0 run herself where she made 2 threes and made an incredible no-look pass. And the thing that me and you kept talking about yesterday is the way she sees the floor.
Yeah, I mean, she makes passes that you don't typically – I don't want to say in girls or boys basketball. She just makes really high-level passes, and she can obviously see the floor extremely well. And she changes the game. She's a player that can come in, and she really changed the game for Shelby Valley, especially in that second half, with not just her passing and scoring, but also played good defense for a girl on 2 bad knees or 2 reconstructed knees at this point.
And she's not 100% right now at all. I mean, she's working her way back into being healthy. But, I mean, and it wasn't just her or Alyssa Ellswick. This was a team effort. I mean, from the get-go, they were playing defense. They were all over the place. Lacey Johnson, Tori Hampton. I mean, you go down the line, these girls were just pressing Pikeville and putting the pressure on them. And, you know, they did enough to win that game. And, you know, if these 2 teams played 10 times, it might be 5-5.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss-up. I think the consensus from everybody I talked to pre-game was this is a toss-up game. Pikeville won the matchup, about a week or 2 ago?
A couple weeks ago, they won by 1.
These 2 teams are definitely going to meet again. They're probably going to see each other down the road. They're going to be familiar.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a nice little rivalry they got building up because they absolutely went after it. Shelby Valley came out on top, and now they face Phelps
and
tonight
in the other semifinal, Phelps, Kylie Hall, who played at Shelby Valley last year, she's a freshman for Phelps this year. She had a big double-double. And, you know, I thought she really fueled Phelps. I mean, she went on about a 6 or 8-0 run herself there in the third or fourth quarter when it was a tie game to give Phelps the lead. And they never really let up. They rebounded the ball very well, I thought. With Danielle Prater getting a lot of, double and triple teams by Betsy Lane. she still scored about 14, 15 points, had enough, but she had enough players around her, including Kylie Hall, to kind of get this win. I mean, I thought Phelps pretty much had the advantage the whole way through. I mean, yeah, it was back and forth a little bit, but it seemed like Phelps never really, felt that pressure.
Right.
They never did fold. They never did make too many mistakes.
Well, I think it's safe to say they're probably going to need to play the best game they played so far in this tournament in order to beat Shelby Valley.
It's not a disrespect to Phelps by saying that, but Shelby Valley is the odds-on favorite going in, I would imagine. I don't think anybody would say otherwise. I think most people thought the winner, Shelby Valley or Powerful, will win this game, but who knows? That's why they play. We see upsets all the time, and if Phelps comes out and plays the way they did yesterday, can control the boards, keep Alyssa Ellswick at bay, they'll have a chance to win this game.
So we'll definitely be looking out for that. We'll be talking more about the winner of tonight's championship, and then the boys tournament obviously going to get started tomorrow. Tonight at 7 o'clock, girls championship game, Appalachian Wireless Arena. Be sure to come out. It's going to be it should be an awesome game.
Yeah, it should be phenomenal.
And then the boys getting started tomorrow.
And then, speaking of other high school boys action, Josh had a good tournament this weekend over at the Williamson Fieldhouse. Josh, just kind of tell everybody what went down at the Williamson Fieldhouse this weekend at the Hatfield McCoy Shootout.
Well, when we got over there, day one had Phelps playing. I think they played Mingo Central. It was a really tough game. I think Phelps came out on top.
I think it was
no.
Mingo beat them by 2.
Mingo beat them by 2. It was 45-43. I think Trey Francis had 15 points. Dominic Francis had 14 points. Mingo Central really, honestly, down the stretch did a really good job at keeping the ball out of Trey's hands, not really letting him try to take over the game in the last couple minutes.
And to beat Phelps, that's what you got to do. You got to make somebody else beat you.
And I think really what it came down to for Phelps is like free throws, man. They couldn't make any free throws. I think Trey himself, I think he shot 8 free throws and made 3. And typically he shoots a little bit better than that. And, I mean, free throws really came down to deciding the game. And then Shelby Valley played South Charleston on day 2. And, I mean, man, not taking anything away from Shelby Valley, but South Charleston just had too much length for them.
Well, I mean, South Charleston is probably the top team in West Virginia as well. I mean, they're number 1, 2, or 3 overall over there. So,
well, and I think that showed too in the way they played. Like they had a lot of confidence. They shot the ball really well from deep. And they shot a lot of threes. And I mean, Cody Potter got off to a rough start. I think he started out 0 for 4, but it was like every time he was going through the offense, he was having somebody that was 6'6", 6'7", switch off screens onto him, and he couldn't really get going.
Yeah.
Kean Warwick's tried to run the offense and did a marvelous job for most of the game, I thought, of keeping everything pretty much under control for the offense, unless when South Charleston would press sometimes and maybe force a turnover. And then let's see.
Pikeville and Tug Valley had a tough
Pikeville played
game.
Tug Valley, and that was a super close matchup.
I think Pikeville got a 2-point win.
Yeah, and when you look at Pikeville, man, their size really it jumps off the court at you, especially when most of their offense came from offensive rebounds and getting putbacks.
Yeah, Pikeville's got a good little. They're mostly young, but one of their older players, Grayson Harris, really sets the tone for them. With his tempo, and he's always aggressive. He's always driving to the basket, but he can also knock down the open shot. Most of Pikeville, what they do though is with Lathan Hall and Riley Simmons, the two sophomores. Pikeville's still young; they're still growing up. Yeah. So even though Riley Simmons got a lot of playing time last year, he's still growing up. He's got to figure out how to take the opposing team's best defender every single night.
Well, and I'll tell you somebody else who really stood out to me at the Hatfield McCoy Shootout was Saldine.
From Belfry.
Yes.
And they took on Mingo
finale.
Yeah.
That was the finale on night 2.
Yeah.
And this kid has got swagger, dude.
Just a freshman.
Yes. True freshman. He comes in. He controls the pace of the game. He can get to the rim when he wants. Now, whether he'll finish at the rim, that all depends on who's down there, contesting him. But he can do whatever he wants with the ball. It's like he's got it on a string, pretty much. So I mean, he jumped out at me just because I heard you say his name last week on the podcast, talking about
averaging about
leading
15.
scorers.
Average about 15 points a game.
I mean, man, it was a really fun tournament. You got to see a lot of great teams
and for
on
people who
display.
don't know, the Williamson Fieldhouse is a really cool place to go watch a basketball game. I mean, and they don't have a whole lot of basketball going on over there anymore.
Well, and I think it's like that Coliseum setting. Like everybody sits up top, and then you've got all the teams battling down low. So it's kind of got that Coliseum feel. I mean, it's a great environment.
We don't see a whole lot of gyms like that these days.
Yeah, it's an old school gym. It's a throwback gym.
And a lot like football, I mean, it's going to be a really interesting season all year this year because you've got so much talent in this. I mean, you talked about several of the guys who you're going to be able to see here come tomorrow night and the rest of the week. And Cody Potter, Riley Salmons with Pikeville, Lathan Hall. Talk about some of the other players that maybe they can look forward to coming and checking out in the
Martin County, Trey James, Brady Dingus, Paintsfield, Kobe Fugit, Braxton Thorpe, Nick Keaton, a double-double machine. He has been for 3 years now. I mean, you can just go down the line. I mean, there's so many good teams. I mean,
and we talked about Trey Francis. And once the district tournaments are over and we get into regional play, that is where you're going to see a lot of these stars come out.
And you'll see a lot of these guys here at the Appalachian Wireless Arena this weekend for the boys all day. And if this is anything as fun as the girls, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, it should be an electric environment. You're going to have the student sections ready to go on both sides. And we know, I mean, these student sections for these schools in the All-A, they really bring it. And this is just an electric atmosphere and a great place to watch basketball.
Great crowd so far. Yeah. I mean, it's the place to be if you want to watch basketball right now.
There's really not a bad seat in the house.
No, there's not.
So come out. All-A tournament going on. Girls championship game tonight, Monday night at 7. Boys games going on all week. So we'll see you at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. All right. It's Monday night. It's been a long enough wait. College football playoff championship game is tonight. LSU going up against Clemson. I mean, listen, this is a huge matchup. We've been anticipating this for a few weeks now. I think the two favorite teams moved on, even though I picked Ohio State. I think I was the only person who picked Ohio State up here.
I think you were.
Huge game. I mean, I know you guys talked a little bit about it last week.
Well, the thing about last week is, I think all three of us were on Clemson. So, we kept saying we miss Wes's view for that because, you've been on this
LSU all year, bro.
Well, even before the year started. I mean, at the end of last year, you were saying that was a team to watch. I mean, and it's come to fruition to where LSU is that team this year. I just kind of talk about the things that you like about this LSU team and why you think they're going to beat Clemson.
Yeah, and credit to me for making that pick.
Absolutely.
This is the one time in my entire life that my prognostications have come to fruition, so I'm really enjoying this. I mean, more than I even believe in LSU, I believe in Coach O.
So Coach O is
he's got great play. I mean, Joe Burrow is having a fantastic season. They feel to me like the team of destiny. I think they're battle-tested. I love that about them. I love the weapons around Joe Burrow. I love the screen game that they're able to run on offense. My biggest problem with LSU, and the thing that scares me the most, is something that's usually LSU's strong suit, and that's the defense because Clemson...
And that's going to be Clemson's strong suit, is their defense. So, I mean, it might come down to whoever's defense is the strongest, which, the whole time I've been saying I like Clemson 24-23. And I'm hoping that, it's something thrilling like that.
Yeah, I can't remember what I picked as the score. I don't see it being the over-under in this game 67.5. I don't think it gets there.
If it gets there, I think LSU wins it easy, but I don't see it getting there.
Yeah, I don't think it gets to be a high-scoring game. I think these two teams have had enough time to scheme for each other. And I think you'll see both teams kind of trying to fill each other out. Now that I said that, they'll probably both come out and it'll be 35-30 at halftime. But
well, see, here was my view of it. In my head, I'm thinking that both of these quarterbacks are going to come out and try to put on a show. So you're going to see early shots deep, especially with looking at LSU with that receiving core that they have. Like, who's going to say that they're not going to try
Well,
to get Jefferson the ball
they're absolutely
early?
going to throw the ball down the field. That's what they do. I mean, that's what part of their MO. They use the screen game to set up the deep ball.
They're going to set that up. Any change of heart from you yet?
No.
You're an level-headed man.
No.
You don't like LSU?
No, I don't like LSU because of the defense.
I can't really say anything. That's the one thing that scares me. I just know, Coach, listen, these players want to win that national championship for Coach O. They want to bring it home to him. Dabo's had his. Dabo's going to get plenty more. This may be Coach O's only opportunity.
It may be. Who knows? I mean, who knows?
He's a great recruiter. We already know that. Joe Burrow, definitely the best quarterback ever to play at LSU. Is that safe to say?
I think
Just
given
off
this
the
season,
top-
yeah.
just off the
Jamarcus
top-
Russell?
Off the top of my head, I would say
I'm
you're
not
right,
gonna-
but I have to go back through the history books and see. But
Is Jamarcus Russell
the top of
even
my
a
head,
topic
I
of
wouldn't argue.
conversation anymore,
Jamarcus
other
Russell
than-
was a good college quarterback. He was
great.
awful in the
College.
NFL.
He was
college.
terrible.
He was terrible in the NFL,
Terrible.
an absolute head case, but he was really good
really good
college
in
quarterback.
college.
But I think Joe Burrow is the guy. Obviously I'm sticking with LSU tonight. I love the under. Definitely not going to hit 67.5. But listen, we've talked about it enough at this point. I think we're all just ready to watch that.
I think so too. I think we all just want to see it happen at this point.
Yeah. And then it's kind of sad for me to see football season come to an end with, college football playoff national championship this week, NFL championship weekend, AFC, NFC championship games are coming up this weekend. Maybe the biggest surprise of all, and we'll just start out in the AFC, is the Tennessee Titans are the Giant Slayers.
They are the Giant Slayers. And, it's another last segment. You talked about your prognostication. Well, all season, I've been kind of saying I want to see Lamar Jackson
That's true.
beat somebody in the playoffs. He didn't do it. And not saying he had a bad game, but he did. What he brought to the table, they schemed for. They were ready for anything he was going to do. And I know Josh over here is probably dying.
Listen, I know, I understand, but here's the thing, right? Mike Vrabel had a great game plan going in against
phenomenal.
them.
Hey, man,
They jumped out in front of him. Lamar, that was the only team all year to stop him.
And stop. You look at the stats at the end of the game, and you're like, oh, they didn't stop him. But they pretty much stopped him. I mean, he didn't hurt them with his legs until late. Didn't hurt him at all with his arm, I didn't think. I mean, we kept saying we got to see him beat somebody throwing the ball in the playoffs. Well, he couldn't do it. Like, he was overthrowing receivers. They were dropping balls. He had a 4th and 1 where it was early. I think they were down 10-0 at this point.
And he looked lost.
Yeah.
And he just, there was nowhere for him to run on a 4th and 1.
Well-
So, to me, when that happened and Tennessee comes out and scored, that was ball game.
And it just didn't look like the Ravens team we've been used to seeing for the last, 12, 13 weeks of the season? I mean, they've been great.
And if you're a Ravens fan, you got to see Willie Snead out there and just it almost has to hurt your stomach to see him drop wide open passes on 3rd and 10, and
Well, even at the end of the game, whenever they were trying to drive back down the field, Willie Snead had caught that one pass, but then there was a play where Lamar tried to hit Hayden Hurst over the middle, and it went right off his chest.
Mm-hmm.
The timing was
I thought
off all
Lamar.
night.
I thought Lamar threw the ball better in the second half, but early on he made some bad throws as well. And Tannehill, who only threw a handful of time, put the ball on the money every single time he had to.
When he had to, I think the thing that stood out most about that game to me is how dominant the Titans' offensive line is. Derrick Henry is a monster. There's no question.
He's put together the best 3-week run in the playoffs in the history of the NFL. The only guy to rival him is John Riggins of the '82 Washington Redskins, having around 30 yards and over 150 rushing yards each game. It's a once-in-a-lifetime performance is what we're seeing. It's a run of a lifetime.
And this is a guy I think most of us, anybody who watches football knows Derrick Henry was special talent, Heisman Trophy winner in college, great at Alabama. At some point, you had to think a guy with that kind of size, that kind of speed, that kind of vision was going to be able to put it together. And this Titans O-line is just absolutely dominating people right now.
Yeah,
and opening those holes for them.
I mean, man, I think honestly, I'm going to give Mike Vrabel a ton of credit.
You have to.
For increasing his carries late in the season, especially trying to get him hot around playoff time.
All right.
And it worked.
We could definitely talk all day about And listen, there's always next year. You got to feel good about how
Well,
you're
it's
set
only
up
a
for
second
next year.
year,
That's
guys.
what I'm saying.
Exactly. I mean,
Hey, Bill Polian, one of the only people who didn't vote for him was that MVP I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Polian still thinks he's a Swiss wide receiver, which is crazy. But we'll move into Titans at Chiefs this weekend for the AFC Championship. Chiefs are a 7.5-point favorite. The over-under's 52. We're going to start with Adam Mahan. Adam Mahan, who you like? Titans at the Chiefs. At Arrowhead, tough place to play.
I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one.
the Chiefs. You don't think Tennessee can put together another run?
No. I
Just
don't-
too many bullets
just
to dodge.
Too many bullets to dodge, and I believe the Chiefs' offense might be a little too good.
Well, after what the Chiefs did yesterday, I mean, there's no arguing with my hand
And
on
the
that.
Texans had them down.
I mean, guys, they
Texans
ran
had
out of
them down.
fireworks.
24 to
Yeah.
nothing.
24-0.
They
24
ran
nothing
out
first
of
quarter.
fireworks because they
Ran out of
scored so
fireworks.
much.
And I've been on Kansas City all year. I've liked this team all season. I'm going to stick with them. I'm not going to be surprised if Tennessee somehow pulls an upset, but I think Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes is a special player, and this might be his special season to break
Yeah,
out.
I think Mahomie and the boys is going to put it together and really put on a show. So, I mean, I'm excited to watch what he does.
I mean, there's a conspiracy going around that State Farm has paid this playoffs off and are trying to set up Pat Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. What I don't
with
like
that.
about the Chiefs is they allow a lot of running yards.
They do.
They give up the run.
They do.
I'm just not so sure that, and I want to pick the Titans. I'm dying to pick the Titans.
They're playing so well right now. It's hard not to.
I'm just not so sure that Titans defense. Now, the Titans defense is much better than the Texans defense, but I don't think the Titans can score with them. I love the over in this game. I think the Chiefs may score 40 themselves.
Yeah, I think just the speed alone of Kansas City on offense is going to be enough. I mean, not saying that Tennessee's defense that can't stop some of that, but it's just they're everywhere. They got guys, speedsters all over the field. Tyreek Hill.
It's
Sammy
literally
Watkins.
everywhere.
Well, listen, it's hard to trust an Andy Reid team in the playoffs.
It really is.
It's hard
really
to trust
is.
Andy Reid team.
Yeah.
But, you can't say enough about the home field advantage at Arrowhead. So, I think we're all on the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one, too. And then we'll go to the NFC Championship game, Packers at the 49ers. 49ers 7-point favorites. Over-under is 45. Both teams with pretty big. The 49ers dominated. And then the Packers kind of. That was a better game.
Seattle had chances to win
Yeah.
late. Green Bay jumped out early and had the lead. Russell Wilson, that last drive he had, it goes 3 and out.
Yeah.
That was the
And
difference.
with an egregious drop, by the way.
By,
the worst
just
drop. Wide open.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Who knows? The guy might score there. Just room everywhere. That being said, Mayhan, who you like in this one?
I believe I'm going to go with the Niners
Niners.
Damn.
because they played earlier in the year and the Niners absolutely dominated them.
Yeah.
I like-
and by the way, real quick on AFC, the Titans did win the first matchup
First
against the
matchup,
Chiefs
35-32. I believe.
in Nashville. Though.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
it was in Nashville.
sorry, go ahead.
I like San Francisco too. I like the defense, but I love George Kittle.
Yeah.
And I saw some stat that he may be the most the biggest factor offensively for his team, plus minus on the field. He doesn't believe he can get tackled. So if he doesn't believe anybody can tackle him, I don't either. I'm going San Fran
And
on
quick
this one.
side note about George Kittle, another guy go back and look at that 2017 draft. We talked about this a little bit this
Yeah.
weekend.
It was loaded.
He was a 5th round pick.
5th round pick.
That 2017 draft was maybe the
Loaded.
greatest, may go down as the greatest draft class of all time. There's going to be guys wearing,
Players
a lot of
everywhere.
guys wearing gold jackets out of that
Everywhere.
draft class. Anyway, Josh Blankenship, Packers at Niners, who you got?
I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers in the pack. Go,
I
Pack,
don't
go.
hate that pick.
Yeah, I think, man.
Defense looked really good
'Cause
yesterday.
I
Yeah.
think I agree with State Farm here, and I think I want to see Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and listen, I've been thinking about this. I didn't have a definitive pick until literally right now. We talked about this a little bit last night. The Packers defense is not great, but I think they step up when they need to and they make plays when they need to, kind of down the stretch with the big sack. Preston Smith had a big sack against Russell Wilson last night. I thought the Seahawks were going to end up winning that
I
game.
did
We were
too.
talking about
I did
that at
too.
the end of the game, that I felt like Russell Wilson was going to figure a way out.
It felt like it was a Russell Wilson thing to do, and their defense stepped up.
Yeah, the Packers defense definitely stepped up. I'm going to go Packers in this game. I mean, I think it's just because I have more faith in Aaron Rodgers than I do Jimmy Garoppolo at this point.
And if he keeps throwing the ball the way he did to Devontae Adams last night.
Yeah. That Niners defense is so good, though. I mean, they're so good. Aaron Rodgers is going to be running for his life unless Green Bay's offensive line comes to block, because that Niners D-line is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Big problem.
Well, and something to watch is the matchup between Devontae Adams and Richard Sherman all night, because you best believe that Richard Sherman's going to be on Devontae Adams.
He's going to have help, though.
Yeah, he's got to have help. I mean, Devontae Adams, when he's healthy, is, I mean, probably a top 5 receiver, if not higher than that in the league. I mean, he's very good. You know, we talked a little bit about it last night. I'm a huge Russell Wilson guy. I kind of wanted to see the Seahawks pull that one out. Matt LaFleur, first-year coach.
It's working out.
Yeah, it's turning. I thought, you know, the Packers were.
Here's another thing to think about. Aaron Rodgers, it was 2010 when he won his Super Bowl. It's been 10 years since he's made a serious run in the playoffs.
That's right. That's true. I hadn't even considered.
And it feels
that.
like yesterday, but it's been 10 years.
Yeah, and he's got a good team. He's got weapons. They seem to be healthy, and like we said, defense bends don't break. So half of us, this half of the table is on the Niners. This half of the table is on the Packers. So. Listen, we're gonna have it's gonna be a great weekend, regardless. Great night tonight, and then
we'll just move on to UK real
straight
quick.
into UK basketball.
We got a Mayhan stat of the week concerning this Arkansas game. You know, that's next up. Let's hear the stat of the week, Mayhan.
Well, I guess we'll say we're gonna put Kentucky on upset alert Saturday because they go into Fayetteville, where Cal Perry's team, since he's been at Kentucky, has never played well. UK is 2-3 at Arkansas.
And that's crazy because Arkansas, how many good teams have they had in the Cal era? Not many.
A handful.
Not many.
A handful.
So you got to think it's a little bit.
But the Bobby Portis team's probably the best
Bobby
team.
Portis. And that's been close to 10 years ago,
close
right?
To 10 years.
2013, 14, somewhere in there.
And then right before that, the Patrick Beverly years, right?
Yeah. So listen. We go to Arkansas. We got 2 road games right in a row. We got South Carolina Wednesday, Arkansas this weekend. Kentucky looked a little bit shaky at first against Alabama, able to pull out that win.
Well, the three of us watched it together. And the one thing that we all said is this half-court offense has got to get better. It's got to get better. It was hard to watch at times.
Truly awful in the half court. And, I mean, obviously, a long athletic team like this, and we all talked about this before, we thought for sure this was going to be an elite defensive team this year. Not been the case so far.
Not at all.
So, Kentucky, you like to think is going to turn around. Emmanuel Quickly, if there's a silver lining, I think it's Emmanuel Quickly really turned into a confident scorer for us. And hitting the 3-point and the jump shot consistently.
And the free throws.
Yeah, and the free throws.
He's turned into, at the end of the game, we struggled in the half court. I don't know if Cal called that, that little inbound play with the screen and get it quickly for the 3. If he did, kudos to Cal. If not, if that's just a broken play, how it came in, and they handed off, either way it worked out. So, some people said Cal's not an X and O guy out of a timeouts for a play. I don't know. I mean, it could have been either way. I don't know. I wasn't in that huddle. But either way, that big 3 really won us the game, I thought.
Well, I mean, Emmanuel Quickly, 19 points, 5 rebounds. I'm just seeing this. Ashton Hagens, a rebound and assist away from a triple-double, 15, 9, and 9.
And he did most of that in the first half.
Yeah, most of it in the first half. It was kind of quiet in the second half.
Really quiet.
Ashton
really
Hagens.
Quiet.
And then Nick Richards, 13 points, 11 rebounds, kind of turning. Nick Richards, some games looks great. Some games... You're like,
looks like a deer in headlights.
He really does. And E.J. Montgomery's not a guy we can count.
No.
Not right now.
And that we've talked about this too, the 3 of us. Between Keon Brooks and Whitley, one of those 2 have to step up if this team wants to do anything. Right now, they've not really contributed much at all this season.
No, Whitney, 0 points in that game. Only played 9 minutes. Keon Brooks played 10, only 2 points. These 2 guys were... Highly touted recruits coming out of high school. Guys who we know are super athletic and should at least be very good defenders, guys you can count on to be out on the court, catching lobs, running the floor,
Fast
getting points
break
like
guys,
that. Yeah. So
and
far,
you
not the
think
case.
this team would be built for fast break basketball, up and down pace, and it seems like we just can't get into that style of game any. But once we do get on the fast break, they look really good.
Yeah, and listen, we talk about this. We're beating a dead horse by saying Cal's teams. We know we're never going to know who they are truly until around about SEC tournament time. So we're going to hang with them at South Carolina, at Arkansas, who may let us know. We never
alert.
play well at Arkansas, so be on upset alert for that. Thank you again
Got
for
some
joining
moss
us
rolling
for
around,
another
scary.
episode of Unwired Appalachia. And real quickly, because I just took us straight into all-A tournament talk,
Yeah,
we want to say thank you to our sponsors.
we got some great sponsors.
Amazing sponsors. First off, it is flu season. And listen, it's flu season. People get
We
the
all
flu.
know it.
This is the time of year if you get sick, you don't want to die from the flu.
Nope.
It's unnecessary. So, the professionals at Nova Pharmacy and Caramore Pharmacy want you to get vaccinated, and so do we, because we don't want to catch any of your stuff.
Nope.
This guy's been vaccinated. We know that. He's let you know that a couple of weeks in a row. So, call Joel or Sandy Thornberry, who are fantastic people, by the way. Came up here, vaccinated me here at work. They'll come to your office if you need them to. Call them today, get vaccinated, stay healthy. 606-432-2274 is Nova Pharmacy, or 606-639-2273 Caramore Pharmacy. Get vaccinated.
We're also brought to you by Bruce Walters. Bruce Walters has just updated the pricing on all their new inventory. Check them out at brucewaltersford.net. I mean, if you're looking for a vehicle, that's the place to go.
That is,
So many
great
cool guys working
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So many good people. Go check out Bruce Walters, see what they got in.
If you're looking for quality care for your loved ones, look no further than Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Both facilities treat your loved ones with care and respect. They offer therapy, daily activities, exquisite cuisine, and home-like settings to make your family members feel at home. Call to schedule an appointment today at Cedar Creek. Call Jessica Thacker, Trevor's wife. I say this every week. At 432-8243, and at Good Shepherd, call 456-8725. Caring for your loved ones is what we do best.
Yes, so thank you again for joining us for another episode of Unwired Appalachia for Adam Mahan.
I got one quick
Oh,
shout
I'm
out
sorry.
before we go. Belfry girls.
Oh, yes.
They
yeah,
won
yeah.
the Class 2A championship this Friday. They'll be playing in Owensboro. They beat Pike Central in the championship Friday night. So shout out to Belfry girls.
Yeah, big shout out to the Belfry girls team, and big shout out again to Adam Mahan for joining us, Randy White, Josh Blankenship, Corey Vance, who none of this happens without Corey
None
Vance
of
behind
it.
the camera.
None of it.
We say it once, say it a million times, the human Swiss Army knife. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
again for joining us. Come out to the All-A tournament, catch some great basketball this week.
Phenomenal.
We're going to be there.
We'll be here.
Come say hey. We'll see you
We'll be
next
sitting
week.
right over there.
Right over there. Next week.